I just scratched my neck.
Don't scratch your neck.
There was one episode of the podcast when I was editing it.
Yeah.
At one point, I go like this and like scratch my face, and then like over the next few seconds, you see like this
red,
deep red mark like forming on my face, and I was like, oh no.
Why are you scratching so much?
Because I got fucking fleas, dude. Because I was visiting your mother last night.
I laughed at that. I guess I have to.
Yeah.
That was good.
Hell yeah, brother.
Welcome back to the podcast, episode
Welcome
22.
back. Yeah.
We're talking about Mystery Dungeon this time.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Specifically, though, just like the Explorers games.
Yeah.
Because I don't have much to say about any of the other Mystery Dungeons, but just the Explorers ones.
It's weird that you haven't played at least the first Mystery Dungeon.
Well, weirdly, I have both of them. I have Red and Blue
Yeah.
Rescue Team on DS and Game Boy. I have both of them.
And you just haven't touched them.
Nope. I even have Mystery Dungeon DX on the Switch, like the remake.
The remake, so the easier one to play.
Haven't played it. Actually, no, I started playing it.
Wasn't that a birthday present to you?
No, it was a gift from my partner for the day that I passed my P's test.
And you haven't touched it.
No, well, I started to, but like I was already like busy at the time, and that's a big commitment.
Yeah.
And then I've just been busy since, I guess.
playing other things. He's not playing your game, Amy. I'm sorry.
Wow. Way to just call me out like that, dude.
You called yourself?
I know I called. I'm setting a timer. Hang on. I know I called myself out like that, but like, come on, man. You didn't need to dox me that hard. Like,
I doxed myself.
That's
in
true.
the previous one, saying how I lost my necklace.
That's
that I got as
true. You're a
present.
bad person.
Well, you're equally as bad. You're not using the gift that Amy got you. So.
Okay.
Can you say
so no, I'm just gonna sit here and stare at you for the next half hour.
You're right.
But yes, we are talking about Explorers of Time, Sky, and Darkness.
Yeah, dude.
I have some good shit to say about these games.
All right, go.
Nice to have a positive Pokemon podcast for once.
Was it the first one since Arceus?
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah. But yeah,
It was like almost 10 episodes ago now.
yeah. I was just
What a
thinking
time.
that actually that was episode 10, I think. Actually,
Shit.
yeah.
Damn.
I think 11 was either Red or anyway. We've done a couple of Pokemon podcasts now.
We've done a few. We did what? Brilliant Diamond, Red, Arceus,
yes.
Scarlet.
Now this
This
is our fifth one.
is our first spin-off Pokemon as well.
Yeah, fittingly, this was the first spin-off Pokemon game I ever properly played.
Really?
I played a little bit of Ranger, like a little tiny wee bit of Ranger back in the day, but this was like my first proper Pokemon spin-off.
Yeah, this was the shit. So when did you get it?
I don't think I was just trying to like backwards map. So like you've got my copy of Explorers of Time on your side of the camera, and I've got my copy of Explorers of Sky.
Oh, you did move it there.
Yeah, on my side of the camera.
Yeah.
I don't have a copy of Darkness, but it turns out you do.
Yeah, so we came into the recording room and he had Sky and
Time
on the table. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm going to put these up. I'm like, I've got Darkness at home. Why didn't you just message me? And he was like...
I didn't know you had.
didn't
Why
know.
would I assume you have it? I don't know. But of course you got Darkness and not Time. You little
does
fucking
that
emo
mean?
dude.
Yeah, dude. Well, no, I originally had Time, and my brother got Darkness, but Darkness had like the cool Pokemon on the front. It had Chimchar. And
Yeah.
I think from memory, Gabite.
Yeah, I think so.
And I was like, nah, I want that one. So we did a bit of a trade, and I got Darkness
Fair.
in the end.
Well, see, I got Time probably like 2011, 2012.
same.
So like a while after it
Yeah.
came out. Because Time and Darkness came out in 08. Sky was 09.
Yeah.
Sky was the same year as Platinum.
Really? Damn, what a banger of a year.
Fucking hell of a
Bangers
year,
after
dude.
bangers.
So it was 07, Diamond and Pearl, 08, Explorers of Time and Darkness,
Yeah.
09, Sky and Platinum, 2010, Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
the
Like,
golden years.
2007, 2010. Fuck, man.
So
Anyway.
good. It's so good.
But yeah, so I actually have a very strange memory of picking up Time for the first time.
Tell me.
That's funny.
Dude, that was so good.
Time for the first Darkness. I was up, I don't know, I think we were up the coast or down the coast or like out like Redland way. You know what I mean?
Gold
we were
Coast
near,
down the coast?
yeah, down the coast.
Yeah.
From where we are, yes, Gold Coast is very decidedly down the coast. We were near water. That's what my
Nice.
memory is. You know, we were somewhere near water, and we were in an EB Games, and I was out with like my family for the day.
Yeah.
And I was heavy into my Pokemon phase at this point. I was heavy into the games, had my own DSi by this point. I was living life. And I had no idea that these Mystery Dungeon games existed.
Yeah.
Like, at all. Like, because at this point, there had only been the original ones and then these ones.
Yeah.
This was only like the second entry. And I had no idea it existed, but we were in an EB Games and I saw Explorers of Time sitting in like the pre-owned DS section.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is this?
What is this?
Like,
yeah.
I need this. And so I like begged my mum to get it for me. I like begged her and she gave
How hard
in.
did you beg?
Like
harder
harder
on
than
the ground, just thinking like, please.
harder than
like
I've
that.
ever begged for anything. Like I wanted it so bad, dude.
Yeah.
And so I got it and I went home and it was one of those cases where it still had a save file on it, which was rad.
Ooh, yeah.
But I cleared it right away and I started
You
my
didn't
own
look at the
save.
save file
Nope.
first. It's like 200 hours.
I had no idea what I was getting into.
Fair.
And then I did the quiz, and the Pokemon that I got given for my first playthrough was Turtwig.
Yeah.
And then I picked Chimchar as my partner.
Of course.
Because again, I was heavy into Sinnoh at the time.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I took the quiz again yesterday, as did you, because I
Yeah.
sent you a link.
Yeah.
We found someone who had created a full like recreation of the quizzes for these games, but with every question. So when you
Yeah, I was wondering, like, this feels fucking
Yeah.
long.
So when you play one of these games, it gives you a random selection of I think 10 or 15 questions.
Yeah.
From the pool of probably like 50, I think.
Yeah.
There are quite a few, and yeah. So I took that again and I sent it to James. Like, you should do it too.
Yeah.
We got the same result.
The exact same result.
Not the exact same numbers, but we got Charmander and Pikachu.
I have a screenshot on my phone.
That's going to be blurry, dude.
Yeah.
That's also going to be blurry.
Well, it's evidence, I guess.
Send it to me. I'll put it on the
I
screen.
already sent it to you.
Okay, well, I'll put it on the screen next to mine so people can compare the stats.
Yeah,
But
okay.
that means we both got Pikachu. Because so we got, I believe that means we're the bold type. Was that bold?
It's brave.
Brave, yeah. With every type that you get, quote unquote, there's a male and female choice, and you decide the type first, so in this case brave, and then the very final question always asks you is, are you male or female? And we would have both clicked male, therefore we would have gotten Pikachu. Charmander is the female choice for brave.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. I got excited. I'm like, dude, I got Charmander?
Yeah, no,
What are the odds?
You got Pikachu. So did I.
Well, I'm not as excited about it
Turtwig
anymore.
is bold. So I got Turtwig in my first playthrough. Turtwig's the bold male choice.
Yeah.
And then Chimchar was
It's complete opposite of
naive or something. I don't know. Like, yeah, either way.
complete opposite of your personality.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Bold, more like
Italics. I don't know.
that's not where my head was going.
More like
but-
strike through.
dude, more like Century Gothic.
More like subscript.
More like Ariel.
Okay, dude, that was too far.
What do you mean?
Like Aerials by System of a Down. It's a great song.
It's a good song.
It's a very good song.
Bit of a banger.
But yeah, so my introduction to this series was very weird.
Yeah.
But I got into it so hard. I think like my love of these games is like why I love games like Binding of Isaac so much, because it's that same. It's exactly the same game. And it's not, but it's exactly the same
They're
game.
pretty different.
Not really. The actual gameplay is pretty similar.
Yeah.
It's just this is with a Pokemon kid-friendly lens on it.
Yeah.
Whereas Binding of Isaac is obviously a bit fucking darker.
Yeah,
But
just a little bit.
That's a hell of a game, though. You should play that.
I haven't played it yet, so.
I have it on 3 different consoles.
What have you got it on?
just by mistake.
How do you...
PS3, PS4, and Switch.
Oh, okay.
I might even have it on Steam, too.
I wouldn't be
Either way.
surprised.
But, like, the definitive edition on Switch is the only one I still play. But,
Yeah.
like, yeah, hell of a game.
Yeah.
Similar gameplay mechanics to this, randomly generated dungeons each time you go through and collect items to help you in your quest through the dungeon.
Yep. You
But-
fight Pokemon, get experience. Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Wait.
you don't. I'm joking. I was like, shit, did he believe me for a second? But yeah, so it's, yeah, my introduction to this game was weird.
Yeah.
How did you sit, like, with your introduction to this game?
So yeah, obviously before this game, I played the originals on the DS. I don't know how we got it, because my parents never bought it for me. I think we got it off a friend and just sort of kept it.
Sure.
So yeah, we had Pokemon as a Blue Rescue Team on the DS, and I played the poo out of that. I finished the game and everything, so I was pretty into it. So then,
Who out of it? Jesus Christ.
what's wrong with
You don't
that,
need to
dude?
censor yourself, dude.
Okay, I played the shit out of it.
Dude!
Put the censor bar right there.
That's unacceptable.
I'm sorry, dude. I'll clean up my language for the rest of the podcast.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. What was that face?
Anyway, keep going.
So yeah, so I played the poo out of it. Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
Good one.
So obviously, and then Diamond and Pearl came out, and I loved those games to death. And then I found out there was a mystery dungeon for it.
Yeah,
was coming out. So did it come out in 08 or 09?
Sky was 09.
Oh.
Explorers of Time and Darkness were 08.
Right, okay. That makes sense. So I got it in 09. I got it for my birthday. So I have a lot of memories like staying up the night before playing the original Mystery Dungeon, and then I got up early. My parents got me that for my birthday. So I got Time, Matt got Darkness, and then we swapped because like Darkness looks awesome.
Yeah.
So I played the shit out of that. I have memories of playing that, and then I would go do rugby training, then go to a ballet class, and then go to my birthday dinner and play that game at my birthday dinner. What a fireball.
Hell of a day. Fucking go and play some rugby, go and do some ballet, go to dinner and play
No, it wasn't
Pokemon.
ballet, sorry. It was jazz classes. I don't know why I said ballet. I meant jazz classes.
I didn't know you did any kind of dance.
Yeah, dude.
What?
Yeah.
We've never spoken about this, ever. This is new
It's never come up
information.
in conversation.
This is new information
Yeah,
to
so
me.
when I was 10/11, I did dance classes.
Like jazz?
Yeah.
Whoa,
For
what?
some reason.
You still got any moves?
No. I'm not doing any moves for you.
I'm
Not on the
surprised
camera.
because you just seem like super like uncoordinated to me.
Oh,
in
I
general.
am.
Yeah.
I am.
And that's not a diss. I mean that. I just mean like you're a fucking clumsy motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like it's not a bad thing. It's just who you are.
I've lost all the moves that I had back then. I think I did it because my sister was doing lots of dance classes, and I was like, yeah, I want to give it a go.
Fair
It was
enough.
weird, but I have memories of like having to leave rugby practice early to go to jazz class.
Dude, you were living the High School Musical dream.
Yeah, dude. The dichotomy of the two was just
Oh, that's rad.
fantastic.
Also, nice use of the word dichotomy.
Hey,
that
thanks,
word
man.
doesn't get used enough.
No, my vocabulary is not that extensive, so
Good work with extensive too. You're really learning.
Dude. I'm not as dumb as you think I am.
good use of the word dumb, dude.
So there is video footage of me dressing up as a seahorse for a performance.
No shot you send that to me. Like, so I can put it in the
it's
video.
on the tapes. I'd have to go home and try and find it.
Oh, please,
I
dude.
haven't watched it since.
Please find it.
I'll try.
And even if we can't put it here, like in the video, I want to see it anyway. But then also we can just post it on the channel as its own video. Like,
Yeah. I remember the concert the year after, I was told we had to dress up as squirrels, and that's when I decided to quit. I was
you were like,
"Fuck it."
seahorses? Fuck yeah. Squirrels? That's where I draw the line. Male pregnancy? Fuck yeah. Nuts in my mouth? No thanks. Anyway, back to
what I was
rugby. Back to nuts in my mouth.
I mean, basically.
I mean,
it's rugby
yeah.
union.
Oh, God, dude.
So, weird side tangent. In grade 6,
As if we're not on a weird side
on a
tangent.
further weird side tangent, they put me in grade 6 as a forward in
Yeah.
rugby.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a skinny little dude, which I was, that makes
Aw.
no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense to be
Hmm.
a forward. So I used to be in the scrums with all these big boys, and it made no fucking sense.
And like, you were also their age, though. You make it sound like with these
No,
fucking
but they were
men.
big. They were big boys,
with
like
these
big
men.
11-year-old.
And you were like, so listen, we're going to do this today. Like,
yeah, that's literally what it was.
they were like, all right, James.
Let's do it. So yeah, I just had lots of memories playing Dungeon back in grade 6 and stuff, and it's
God, I
just the
forgot
best
this was a
time.
Pokemon podcast for a second.
Yeah, me too. And I remember I used to take when I used to have haircuts and stuff, I'd bring the game with me and I'd just play. I used to play a lot of the post game. So just lots of memories with that. It was
Hell yeah.
such a good time. I think I knew how what questions I had to answer to get the Pokemon that I wanted.
Yeah.
So I made myself get Chimchar, I believe, and my partner was Piplup.
Nice.
Or
I was
something like
Turtwig and my partner was Chimchar.
Oh,
Between us, we had all the Sinnohs.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
So I think I don't actually think I did that many playthroughs of it, maybe 1 or 2. But it was a good time. I have
Yeah.
other memories of going to Melbourne and playing the main story through there whilst we're on a trip, and it was a banger of a time.
I
It was so good.
on that, taking it on holidays, one fond memory I have of time is my family and I went down to stay in a cabin in Lamington National Park.
Yeah.
Down on the border. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went and stayed out there for a week or something. Just went and hung out. And I took my DS with me and a printed sheet of Wonder Mail codes. So I could
Yeah, nice.
keep doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember doing Reggie Gigas in the Aegis Cave while I was in that cabin that we were staying in.
That's right.
I like vividly remember that.
Yeah.
It's so wacky. But like
I vividly remember, like, you know how in the main story you go to that crystal cave dungeon? I have memories of doing that and that sand area as well. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. But
yeah, I was like looking up a couple of locations today where I was like, oh, I remember this. Where was this? What was the name of this? Just so I could actually not be like, the place with the things and the... I actually also put both of those cartridges for my 2 copies into my DS before we started and had a look at what save files are on it.
Yeah.
Sky only has like half an hour played on it because I remember I restarted it many years ago.
Yeah.
Then obviously didn't do very much. My time save file, I believe, is still the original one that I played back like probably more than 10 years ago. Yeah. It has like 7.5 hours on it, which was like shitloads to me at the time. I was like, whoa!
Barely anything these days.
Dude, no way. I literally sat and played this game all the time.
You probably had like 20 reviver seeds in your back the whole time, so you never had game overs.
I remembered the reason that I stopped playing it was because I'm in like the final stretch of the Spatial Rift and I'm out of revive seeds and I kept dying and was not able to progress any fucking further.
It's a hard dungeon.
Yeah, and because I'm a fucking Turtwig and there's fucking like Garchomps coming at me. Like, yeah.
It's weird they don't let you evolve until like once you've done the post story.
Yeah, it is really weird.
But and like by then you're like level 60 or something, which is weird.
But I remember that's why I stopped playing it.
Did you ever finish the post game?
Oh yeah. Many years later, like around the same time, but a few years after that, when I started using my R4 card, before I had a physical copy of Sky, I played Sky through probably twice, all the way post game, post game, like on my R4 card. Yeah. I probably still have those save files kicking about on an old hard drive or something.
Probably.
Like, actually, I still have that same R4 card. I know where it is.
You should show me after
I should like plug it in and see.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, dude, we're actually going to do that after this.
Get a screenshot of your save file.
If it's on there, I know where the R4 card is, and my DS is sitting right here. So
true.
I'll dig it out once we're done recording this, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, show me.
But
fuck yeah, I'm actually kind of intrigued. I might go home and like see my save file, see if it's still there.
It like because I also saw that my Sky only has like half an hour played on it. Now I really want to like actually start playing it again.
Should.
Like looking into it all today, and like I think there's been probably like once a week over the last decade, like every week of my life, I think about these games and I think about wanting to play them again.
Yeah.
And like, I really just fucking should. Like,
you should.
Yeah.
What's stopping you?
Time, energy, the feeling that I'm not using my spare time or my free time or my downtime in a productive way by playing a video game that I've already beaten multiple times.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel that. Adult things.
Yeah.
Fuck my life, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I always like to feel slightly guilty.
Always
I'm, like,
a bit.
Spending my time playing video games.
Always
but
a
with
bit.
Zelda, I didn't. I was like, no, this is
that's why I stopped, because I was like, I just don't have the mental capacity to invest that much time right now. Yeah, like mentally and also like spiritually, in terms of what I was just talking about. Like, it doesn't feel like a good use of my time, quote unquote, which is frustrating.
I hate that for you. Anyway, your holidays are coming up. That's when you can game on.
Get your game on.
Get your game on, boy. The story. I kind of want to talk about the story first, because that's what everyone sort of remembers about.
Well, the story is the best part of this game.
Yeah.
The story is incredible.
Yeah.
Moving.
It is moving. Moving pictures.
Hey.
It's one of the best stories I like ever encountered with a Pokemon game. Probably up into that. I think I sort of knew what I was getting into because I had played the original Mystery Dungeon games before, but this one is like so much more involved.
The fucking
holy shit.
Like with Grovyle and Dusknoir and like holy shit, dude.
Dude, don't. That gets like fucking intense.
Yeah, I think honestly, I could probably trace, like I always loved writing, but like I think I could probably trace me wanting to like actually like write things.
Yeah.
Back to playing this game.
Yeah. Like
legitimately, I remember playing it as a kid and just thinking like, this is like, I want to make this. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
It blew me away.
Yeah. One I'm interested in, because I never played Explorers of Sky. I never got a hand on it. So what's, like, the difference between that?
It's Platinum versus Diamond and Pearl.
Like, any differences in story? Or,
nah.
There's a lot more, like... side stories.
I couldn't speak to the minor differences right now because it obviously has been a while.
Yeah.
But as far as I remember, no. Obviously, there are when Explorers of Time and Darkness came out, Shaman and Arceus didn't exist yet in the world. Full stop.
Yeah.
And then when Sky came out, they added Shaman to the game.
Yeah.
To Shaman Island or something, its own little fucking place.
Nice.
But no Arceus. So it only has
Arceus.
492 Pokemon, and Time only has 491.
It's weird that they don't have Arceus.
Yeah, Arceus doesn't make an appearance in either of these games, despite the fact that by the time Sky came out, Platinum was out too.
True.
It's really weird, actually.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That he just doesn't feature in the games.
Yeah.
But it's in terms of story, it is very much the same as Emerald versus Ruby or Sapphire, or Platinum versus Diamond and Pearl. It's minute differences that don't really affect the overall experience.
I thought there was a lot more side quests that you do with the characters in the game. There's the whole thing with Bidoof. There's stuff you do with Grovyle and Dusknoir when they get sent back to their time or whatever.
They're special. They're called special episodes, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm fairly sure most of them were available in Time and Darkness, but there are ones that are obviously then exclusive to Sky.
Oh.
I.e. Battle Frontier in Emerald versus Ruby and Sapphire not having it.
Right.
Again, those minor differences, but
nothing major.
the Bidoof one was in both, I believe, because that's how you get Jirachi.
Oh.
The Bidoof one was in all three of them.
Yeah, right.
But then there are a couple, I think, that are exclusive to Sky. I could just be talking completely out of my ass right now, but I did do a bit of reading on this today just to so I wasn't completely blind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure that's it.
Yeah, nice.
I want to play it again so I can find out anyway.
You should.
Yeah.
I do want to get back to playing Darkness. It's such a good game.
How did you feel, especially... I suppose it's different for you because you'd already played the originals, but I was going to say, how did you feel about the gameplay compared to your mainline Pokemon games?
It's so different.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but what did you like about it? What do you like? What do you not like?
The one draw, I think I just liked being a Pokemon.
Yeah,
it was kind of weird, but I mean, I liked it.
Yeah.
It still has sort of the same sort of mechanics, I guess, as Pokemon in a sense. It's still turn-based, you go, then they go, then you go again. But it's still very different in how all the mechanics work and how you use items and all, and how you traverse all the dungeon. I think it took me a little bit of getting used to when I first started playing it, but it's a really pretty easy game to get into, I find.
Yeah, and I think also because, when I played it as well, this was the first... I mean, I played a little bit of Ranger. Yeah. A minuscule amount.
Yeah.
Not very much. Just enough to get the Manaphy egg. But, on someone else's save file.
Yeah, nice.
And it was very different to me.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, by this point, all I'd ever played was Sapphire and Pearl.
Yeah.
And I guess, actually, by the time I got these, probably Platinum and Soul Silver as well.
Yeah.
So, but, only mainline games.
Yeah.
And only Gen 4 and one Gen 3 mainline games. So, this was, I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
The generating random dungeons, obviously the battling system's similar enough, but, I
think the complexity came from, being where you were in the dungeon and, where you were in position to where the other Pokemon was. If you use ranged moves against them or moves, if they were right next to you, or if you threw items at them, or if there were traps in the dungeon and stuff. I think that's where I found a bit of the complexity in the game, which I really like about it.
Oh,
but it can be a bit of a bitch sometimes. If you get confused. Ugh,
yeah.
I hate that.
I hate getting confused in mainline games too. Yeah, it's the worst fucking mechanic.
It's such a shit mechanic.
But I don't know. I found it really interesting even as a kid. And again, for the same draw that you said about playing as a Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's rad as hell.
Yeah,
that's
so
all
cool.
you've ever wanted as a Pokemon fan.
Yeah.
And I think especially to do it in a game where it's an integral part of the story too.
Yeah.
And it plays in such an interesting way.
Yeah.
And you're interacting with other Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fantastic. I'm just having flashbacks to Grovyle and Dusknoir.
Dude, don't think about it too much. I don't want you to start,
I'm gonna start crying.
Crying on the podcast.
Such a fucking gorgeous game.
It's so good.
And I think, as we've said with most of the games we've talked about, except Scarlet and Violet, if you haven't played this game, bootleg a copy, because copies of these games are not cheap.
No, not
cartridge only for Explorers of Sky, you're looking well above $100.
Yeah.
Which is nuts to think about. Get a fucking $20 R4 card. Nice.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Get a fucking $20 R4 card, drop a ROM on there.
Yeah.
Hey, Nintendo, if you're listening to this,
Yeah, don't maybe stop listening at this point.
So the R4 card that I use
Dude,
is
stop.
But yeah, it's honestly, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I cannot recommend. It is like the game I recommend the most. I might have said this on the Arceus episode, but like
Yeah.
Arceus is my favorite. Like, it's still debatable whether it's a mainline game or a spin-off game. I still don't think Nintendo knows. I'm gonna call it a mainline.
I think
game.
they think it's mainline, but
Yeah. But like, I'm
I
gonna
don't
call
know.
Arceus a mainline game.
Yeah.
Arceus is my favorite mainline game. Explorers of Sky is my favorite non-mainline game.
yeah, okay,
And it's
good shout.
yeah,
It's a great game.
yeah, they're fantastic games in their own right. And obviously, throwing in, if I had to, like probably the Platinum or Soul Silver as
Yeah.
like the actual traditional mainline game that I
Yeah.
love the most.
Yeah, no.
But it's seriously incredible.
It's incredible, yeah, and I think the story really makes it for the game.
Big time.
The only thing I will say about these games, they can be a little grindy.
Oh, I had that written down to say as
Yeah.
well.
It's a lot of grinding, especially like sometimes you have to like jump up ranks to sort of progress through the story, or when the next story bit like kicks in. So that can be a bit annoying at times.
Yeah, I feel it's kind of like the mainline games in the sense that, like, if you just go through and you do a healthy amount of encounters, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But, like, there are always points where you're kind of like, oh, okay, I should probably do a couple extra
Yeah.
just to be safe.
Yeah.
But it's,
Well, I used to do like a lot of the because you would do missions, I guess, and that's how you
Yes.
got experience to rank up. And like sometimes you befriended some other Pokemon for your team, or you got cool items out of it. So there was still some sort of benefit to grinding.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess. But I used to like do all the high rank shit all in one go if I could. Like
Yeah.
if there were several missions in one area, that's what I would do. And usually you got through it pretty quick. It's not bad, but yeah.
yeah. I think that, yeah, the dungeon crawler, like, aspect of this game is very appealing, but then it
Yeah.
is also the first thing to get on your nerves, if anything ever does.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Like,
Yeah.
it does feel a bit tedious at times, but very rarely. And like, all you got to do is just like put it down for a little bit and then come
Yeah,
back
and
to
then
it.
come
And you're
back.
It like, it's weird how like instantly refreshed you feel with it again.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
think it does. I think when it finally got to me is when you started doing the 99 floor dungeons.
Oh,
And you're
God,
like,
yeah.
Oh man, I'm not ready to put in this time, and it's just so hard.
Well, I never did shit like the Battle Frontier or the Battle Tower or like, I never did that shit for that reason.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I have to do fucking how many battles in a row?
Yeah,
Like, no way.
it's insane. But like, because I always wanted to do it, because like I want the legendary at the end. I
Mm.
can't remember specifically in Time and Darkness, but especially in the first one, like if you wanted to go fight Lugia, you had to go through
Yes.
99 floors of Deep Sea Trench or whatever the fuck it's called. And it's just a bit of a grinding. Like you need to be very high level. You have to have shit ton of items, and who knows if you're going to survive, the fight at the end.
Yeah.
Because it's seriously hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not for the faint of heart, dude.
Not at all.
Not at all.
One really interesting thing that I was looking at today, which I forgot about,
Yeah.
but is now interesting with hindsight, the main enemy of the game, Primal Dialga. Primal Dialga.
Yeah.
6 years later,
Yeah.
Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, Primal Reversion comes in as a gimmick.
Yeah.
Primal Dialga is like the first instance of that, but it actually
Actually.
it specifically calls out the fact that in Japan he's actually called Dark Dialga, and
Which
so
makes
it is
more sense.
it is a different thing to Primal Reversion, obviously. But it's interesting that they used Primal Dialga and then they were just like, it's a very yeah, we'll just use the word Primal again for the
Yeah.
mainline games. But I thought that was really interesting.
I thought it was really cool seeing Primal
Oh
Dialga.
yeah, his design is sick.
I wish he came back in like some kind of form.
Yeah.
I don't know how, because even like the word primal just doesn't make sense with this type of Dialga.
No, Dark Dialga makes way more,
Yeah.
more sense, but it's
Dude, just that whole like sequence of the story when it's in the future, right? Do you go to the future? What is it?
in time.
No, it's in like both stories. When you get to the segment of the game where you're like you're basically going and
I literally
you find
can't
Primal
remember.
Dialga.
Maybe you do. Sure, let's say you do.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I really can't remember. And especially because I remember Sky the most, and then I can't remember if it's the same or not. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like the part of the story when you go to like the future where like Primal Dialga is and all of that, and it's all dark. You know how the Sableyes get you and they put you in the prison?
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. Is that when you get, do you get in the future? It's some shit like that.
Yeah.
But fuck, that's scary.
Get taken to the Shadow Realm, dude.
Yeah, literally. It feels like the Shadow Realm. It's probably the most, one of the most emotional parts of the whole fucking game.
God, yeah.
But it's intense. It's intense. Holy shit. And that's like when you're cast out from Mystery Dungeon Town or whatever it's
Mystery
called.
Dungeon Town.
Treasure Town. Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh man, the
Fucking
story gets me
Wigglytuff,
every
dude.
time. Oh yeah, Wigglytuff is the guildmaster. I forgot, dude. Oh, I love all those characters. They're so good.
The little Kecleon shop.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And it's so Kangaskhan Bank.
Yes. It's so like wholesome and lovely. But also it has like such a deep emotional story.
Yeah.
But like when you're not doing the story, you're like wander around this little town, have a nap on my little straw bed, lovely times. And then it's like, meanwhile, Grovyle and Dusknoir, and you're like, oh no!
Oh shit. The end of the game is what always gets me. God. If you ever want to see me cry, just play like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, the final like cutscenes, yeah.
Oh man.
God, dude.
It's very emotional. No Pokemon game has ever hit me as hard as that.
No.
I don't think.
No, I think the only time I've ever been hit that hard in a Pokemon game, but it wasn't sadness, it was fear, was Volo. Like, you know what I mean?
The Giratina.
It was the same level of emotion, but a different emotion.
Yeah, exactly.
Like utter fear versus utter despair.
Utter despair and sadness and depression.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. How much of the post game did you did the whole thing, right? Did you ever do like the extra stuff where you fight like all the legendaries?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That was my
yeah, I did. And
good.
especially in Explorers of Sky doing Shaman Island or whatever it's called. Like,
what did you have to do for that?
The same shit that you do for everything else.
Just
like
for a long dungeon.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever like use like I remember like especially during the main story, like near the end, I would always have like a set of like reviver seeds and like the seeds that would boost your attack. Yeah. So when I got to Primal Dialga, I would just it'd be so easy.
It's interesting that in these games I was so good at strategizing with like stat boosting items and things, but in like mainline games, I have never used like an X speed, X attack. I've never used any stat boosting items ever, not even berries.
This game like kind of forces you to really like focus on trying to find items and use these items to your advantage, because if you don't, you're kind of screwed.
Absolutely screwed.
Yeah, because like a lot of the time, like the other Pokemon will like do like speed boost or something, your attack boost, and they just become OP.
It's unbelievable how good they become. Yeah.
If you use agility or something, they can like attack you 3 times in a row or something, or something like that. Yeah.
And then especially those Pokemon who can move, like you move 1 square and then you see them like move 3 and you're like, oh no,
this ain't good.
I'm picturing Rayquaza, like
dude.
Yeah.
Every time I'm just thinking of monster houses.
Those are the fucking.
If you ever wanted to play something that will put the fear of God in you, monster houses.
But in like obviously only really get them in the higher level dungeons too.
Yeah.
So like you walk into a room and it's like, it's a monster house, and you look around and you're like,
oh shit,
these are all pseudos.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to die.
Yeah. You had to like use something like
Warp Seed.
Yeah, Warp Seed or
get the fuck out of there.
That would only like warp yourself, so you'd warp away, but your partner was still there. And you're like,
rip Chimchar.
Okay, see you later, buddy.
See you, buddy.
You're dead.
It's been nice.
Been nice knowing you. He's like, wait, what? What are you doing?
See you, chump.
Just farts as he warps away. But those were legitimately just
actually
terrifying.
Yeah.
Especially if like sometimes they would use moves that would speed the rest of the Pokemon up.
Yes.
So they would just all wail on you.
God.
It's just like it would just end your game. And especially if you're in dungeons that are like 99 floors long, you get to the 98th floor and it's a monster house, you're like, I'm fucked.
You're right. I'm not going to play this game again.
Yeah. Well, just don't do those dungeons.
You've just put the fear of God in me once more. Like
again.
Oh, yeah. I actually would be interested to see. So I was thinking about this when we did like the full quiz, like all like 50 questions ever. Like we got the results we got because there are so many opportunities for us to get those points for those particular attributes.
Yeah.
I wonder, like, if I booted up Sky right now, if I would still get Pikachu or if I would get something different. Like,
I'll do it.
Based on whatever questions there are.
Do it. right now on the podcast.
Nah, I can't do it right now. I'd have to like clear the save and then
Yeah,
go
it's
through the
just-
whole thing.
yeah,
I mean, actually,
I mean,
probably wouldn't take that long.
No, it wouldn't. It'd take like 5 minutes.
But like, yeah, I feel like we should like wrap it up anyway.
Yeah,
I feel like I
okay.
don't have too much more to say. Like, this is a short and sweet one, but very focused.
Yeah.
Except for your rant about rugby and balls and ballet and whatever. Like,
Sorry, dude. Nuts.
nuts, yeah.
Yeah.
These
Is there
nuts.
Dude, nice. Is there anything else you kind of love about the game?
I mean, just the aesthetic of it in general is
Yeah.
gorgeous. The music.
Oh, the music's
The music
beautiful.
is top tier.
It's so good, and it's just like keeps like having all these themes throughout the game, and so many motifs. I
Yeah.
love it. It's so good.
I think like, yeah, like music, story, aesthetic, like graphics and presentation in general. Yeah, perfect. 10 out of 10. The gameplay is the only thing that gets a bit grindy.
Yeah.
But you could say that about literally every Pokemon game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Pokemon to me is grinding.
Yeah.
That's what she said? I don't know.
No.
Anyway,
No.
Pokemon to me
Bit
just
of it
is
is.
grinding. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, so to say, like, these games don't feel as grindy as some of the mainline games do.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
Gen 4 and earlier mainline games, you do not need to grind in the modern games.
No.
Fuck
Because you have
no.
the experience share. It does it for you.
I think, honestly, I've probably played more hours of Explorers of Sky than I've played of Generations 6, 7, 8, and 9 of Pokemon combined.
I believe you. You have not touched those games.
Actually, 6, I did play X and Y all the way through.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe not
That's
6.
alright.
But 7, 8, 9,
For sure.
I've played more Sky on this fucking half-hour save file than, like...
It's equated to your Scarlet and Violet save file.
Legitimately, yeah. No, I think I got like an hour and a half into Violet.
That's
dude.
pretty good.
So, yeah,
Hey, man.
kill myself.
It's alright. You gave it a go.
No, I watched cutscenes for an hour and a half. I only just got my ride Pokemon.
Sure.
Anyway,
We've already
that's
we've already
another
ranted.
episode
Yeah.
that we've already done.
Yeah, we've
which
already
you should go and
ranted
check out.
If you want to see both of us rant.
But yeah, give me your final thought rundown. Like,
I love this game. It's always
cool.
so
Well, thanks.
dude.
Sorry, I was
I'm trying. You asked
I
me a
was
question.
being funny.
Well, I'm not laughing. Anyway,
Cool. Thank you so much, everyone. No.
no, I love playing this game. I always
Yeah.
love coming back to it for the story. I really
time.
enjoy like the gameplay mechanics. Like, yeah, it can be a bit grindy, but I always like going through the dungeons and defeating all the Pokemon and strategizing how to defeat the Pokemon and the boss Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even really touch on that, but like a lot of the boss Pokemon you fight are legendary Pokemon.
Yes,
So it
yeah.
takes like a lot of strategy and like what items you might have and what partner you have and what moves you use. And it's really, really fun. And it has a big post-game story.
It
which
really
I love.
does,
It's like a
yeah.
whole separate like story, which I love.
Bigger post game than like most of the modern games, main
Liter-
games.
Literally, I think
Yeah.
it has more than any of them.
Yeah, straight up.
Because you can do like this extra story that's in there and all of the other
Yeah.
side content, like fighting all the other legendaries and like ranking up and doing all the missions and stuff. There's just so much to do in this game that I really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I love it. It gets a bit grindy, but whatever.
Whatever.
I love it. It's a
Yeah.
it's a good time. I think I probably prefer this to the original mystery dungeon, probably
Yeah.
because I don't think it is as grindy as those ones were. Those ones had a lot of like 99 floor dungeons on
Oh,
the
God,
post
yeah.
story, but this
Yeah.
one isn't as intense, I think. But yeah, it's just so good. Yeah, epic. Well, I guess that just wraps up this one.
Yeah.
You have anything else you want to say? No.
No, I mean that's
already
kind
said
of it.
everything.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree completely. Like with the gameplay, with the bosses, with the music, the story. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a great game.
I
And
love just walking around Treasure Town.
Oh,
I
it's
have
so-
like
it's
banger
just
music. It's so,
so
aesthetically
beautiful.
nice.
I am straight up gonna like start playing this.
You
again.
should.
I'm gonna dig out that R4 card and see
Yeah.
if that saves on there, and then I'm also going to like start my actual copy of Sky.
You should.
Throw me all the way back.
Yeah, dude.
Pull up all those Wonder Mail codes again, dude.
Good old Wonder Mail.
Oh, so good.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys
Yeah.
enjoyed this. A bit of a shorter episode, but I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I did, yeah.
Okay, good.
Don't
Good.
don't
Just
look at me
double-
like that though when you ask that question.
Why?
It's giving me flashbacks.
To what?
Anyway, so yeah, remember also to follow us, to like,
Yeah.
to comment, to subscribe, to do all of the social media things that you know,
Do all
that
the
you know about.
things.
And hey, when you subscribe, we're going to put time into playing these games. I don't know. Like, I was going to be like, when you sub, we plant a tree, but I'm like, no, we can't promise that.
No.
1 sub equals 1 hour I play of
So
of
please
Explorers of Sky.
subscribe.
Please, I really want to play this game, guys.
You should do a let's play of it. Dude.
Is there someone else in the house?
Maybe not. Do you want me to go have a look?
Let's say goodbye to the people first, just in case.
No, they can come along.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not moving these tripods.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye.